So let's talk about rafting. Let's talk about your journey into rafting. What started you down that path?
I was a derelict college student at NAU, and all my friends, I was in the business school. All the friends I had were in the forestry majors. So I spent a lot of time with them and not a lot of time on my studies. And that involved like going to the Verde River with grandpa's old aluminum canoe. And sometimes that canoe survived, and sometimes that old Coleman canoe got wrapped around a rock. But we had a lot of great adventures. We would traverse, from Camp Verde all the way down to Horseshoe Dam down there in the Scottsdale world. And, it'd take 5 days and our knees wouldn't have any skin on them and would be sunburnt and, full of sausage and cheap beer. And it really couldn't get any better.
So, yeah, I bet. I'm addicted just hearing the story. I'm ready to go. Yeah, now I want to try rafting. And look,
I get covered with a few little scars and bumps and bruises and all the good stuff, but some great stories. And so it evolved from there. And finally, if you want to take your wife or some kids on some of those things, like a little raft on a big river kind of doesn't always work as well. So you elevate from the canoe to the raft is the next step.
Yes.
And that kind of triggered everything, because there's an excellent sort of rafting community that, I don't know who doesn't know it yet, but that Grand Canyon River is the golden ticket. It is the Willy Wonka ultimate chocolate factory of raft trips. And so there's a great sort of, we have some of the best river guides in the world here, because they are taking the most high-end clients on the longest trips possible in this country. And so you get to, that community is dynamic and talented. And I have some friends that work in that community. I don't know that I had the charisma to be the river guide or not, but we got to see some great rivers all through the West. And we got to get to touch on that river community and slowly become a part of it. It was, a neat journey in and of itself.
I think you would be a river guide / river. What is it? The Jungle Cruise at Disneyland. I think that's really the combination. If you were doing that, we'd be laughing the entire time. But this is fantastic. Okay, so it was basically the adventure that caught you, and I didn't know this about the Grand Canyon. I did not know about that. Basically, the elite river that is. Why is that? Is it because it has the most action on it, or is it just obviously one of the most stunningly beautiful places on Earth? But I didn't know that this was one of the crown jewels of the rafting world.
Yeah, it absolutely is. You have 272 miles to traverse. So there's different ways to do it. If you're on a motorboat and you do half of it, maybe you can go 4 days or something. But by and large, the degenerates that try to do it themselves, and you can rent some equipment, or you can slowly work your way into it and buy it all. But you're generally going on a 16 to 25 day adventure. And you sort of have to, you can't get a permit very easily. So you sort of train and work your way up on some of these other rivers out here, which are also fantastic. You have the San Juan up in the Four Corners area. But you might venture, say, as far as the Snake River up there in Idaho. They have some wonderful rivers. Colorado has some. So there's more violent rivers and there's shorter rivers, but this is a very long river trip with a very big river. And consequently, you have some very big rapids, very big waves. But you also have some of the most incredible scenery in the world. You have rivers coming out of you have like creeks coming out of the side of a cliff that are full of stalactites. You have little hidden alcoves full of moss and springs, and you've got your various fish and your bighorn sheep and all the other good stuff that come with that too. And you're guaranteed an adventure down there. It's an exploration. It's less of like an adrenaline thing and more like an expedition.
Okay.
How I would put it.
More like the beginning of a Jurassic Park movie, not the end of a Jurassic Park
movie. You are
movie.
in Jurassic Park. It is.
So, okay. So, and I think that's wonderful about our state. And that's what I'm going to get to. I'm going to get in your ear about Arizona here in a minute. But I think this was wonderful about our state is we are the most biodiverse, non-coastal state in the nation. And
absolutely. You have a tropical climate down there. And I mean, we've got all 5 climates here in Arizona, and I think the tropical one is almost exclusively down there at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. The biodiversity is absolutely incredible.